Today on Science Fridays with John, we're going to be using two plates and we're going to be throwing them and learning two important words, aerodynamic and drag. So stay tuned. Hi everyone, I'm John, the Science Guy, and welcome to Science Fridays with John. I've got two plates here. One, pretty ordinary, and this one I've actually taped together. And why have I done that? Well, we have a very interesting experiment we're going to conduct in just a few moments. And what we're going to try to prove or disprove is how does drag, or wind that's actually getting beneath or through an object, affected in flight. Let's go over and check that out. I'm actually going to throw this one, I'm going to throw this one. And what we're going to observe is how they're going to fly differently. My hypothesis is that this plate here, throwing it upside down, is actually going to have drag because of the inside area that's indented. This one, I believe, is going to fly straighter because there's really not much area for wind to be able to impede it in flight. Let's test that hypothesis out, okay? All right, first we're gonna take the plate that's upside down, and here we're gonna watch it. Just like I suspected, it went down because of the air. Now let's try the other plate. Okay, just to prove to you that that wasn't a fluke, I'm gonna do it exactly the same way. Here we go with the plate, and you can see that it kind of took a nosedive. Let's do the one that's more like a flying saucer, okay? All right, let's go back over to the lab and deconstruct what actually happened. So this plate here, when I threw the plate, the wind or air actually got under the plate and caused it to just flop. This one that looks more like a flying saucer, because what we did is we shielded the inside area of the plate by putting two plates together, thus making it fly a lot straighter, but more like a flying saucer. So even though it didn't fly in a straight line, it did fly a lot straighter than this plate that just sort of took a nosedive. That happened because of two important words. One is aerodynamic. Aerodynamic is something we hear a lot with athletes, whether you're a biker, whether you're a swimmer, whether you're a runner, jogger, any type of sport. All athletes want to have the least resistance to wind. The reason being that resistance can be the difference to whether you make a touchdown, you come in a few seconds earlier, or you're able to gain the edge over a competitor. Now, when we think about aerodynamics, it's not just in sports, it's also in our planes, it's in buildings. Because you see, wind and air are all around us. When they design air conditioning systems, they have to make sure that it flows in the right way. Therefore, there's some resistance and there's some flow. When we think about resistance, there's one other thing to understand, and that is drag. No, I'm not talking about your life. Hopefully your life is not a drag. But drag has to deal with the fact that there is a force that is resisting, okay, or not resisting the airflow from impeding it to go in one direction. We see this a lot when we talk about flags or when we talk about sailboats. It's because certain wind conditions can actually make the difference of whether you're going to come in first or whether you're going to come in dead last. You need to know that wind is your friend, but if you make it your enemy, you could be coming in behind a lot further than just the 8 ball in your game. Thus, in life, it's important to understand why we're talking about aerodynamics. Aerodynamics and drag in our everyday life is important because if we don't have the right flow, if we don't have the right resistance, because we can't have too much flow, we can't have too much resistance. If we do, then people will become frustrated, goals won't be achieved. If we have the right amount of resistance, things will be great. For example, if you are riding a bike, there has to be a certain amount of resistance to hold the spokes, the tire, and everything together. Thus, in your life, there's structure. So you have to have the right resistance and the right flow. When you get that balance working, you have harmony, just like in a musical song. And thus, you can continue on your journey to success. I'm John, the Science Guy. Why don't you go ahead and make your own aerodynamic experiment with a plate and tag me. Love to see it either in a picture, in a video, or a comment, and then tag your friends, colleagues, and associates. Share this out with everyone you know on social media. And then, of course, I'd love you to go to my YouTube channel and look for that key phrase right below, help keep our content free. Click on the PayPal link and make the choice, ladies and gentlemen, to buy us a cup of coffee or an ice cream cone. It's summertime. We'll be so grateful with those pennies and dollars. We'll invest them into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, new facilities, and even new staff to give you, no pun intended, the most aerodynamic, motivational experience, keeping you out of resistance and on your way to success. I'll see you in another science video real soon. How was that? That was good. All right. That was hard. All right, let me go take off my lab coat. You could throw out the water. I'll go check and see where we are with the cups. Let's move right into motivation.